living here in the Netherlands, there is one question I kept getting asked last week, which was, what do you think about the election? And well, let's talk about it. And I'm going to save my true thoughts about the election towards the end of the video, but if you have some thoughts, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, the other night was election night. Trump won, and no joke, I've had like 8 people hit me up telling me how did I move to the Netherlands? And then what's even stranger is that I've had people or Americans or expats that live in the Netherlands hit me up and be like, well, welcome to the free world, at least you made it. Like, no joke. And I look, man, right off the rip, I do gotta say, I was not planning on making no videos about the whole election and all of that. And matter of fact, I can honestly say that I'm not even surprised that it went that way. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. But yeah, I don't really make a lot of political videos or anything like that. That's never been my thing. So that's why this video is a bit hard to make. So I think the best way to do this is approach this video in my own way. But just know I'm talking about the election. Just understand. Now I do have my lunch break. I was at the office actually today. So I'm on my lunch break heading back to Amsterdam. Got a train in 8-9 minutes? But yeah, man, the reason I am not surprised that it went the way it did was America, unlike the Netherlands, America is, how do I say this? America is a big, fat contradiction of itself. I mean, in every way. I mean, it claims to be one of the best countries in everything, pretty much. But when you look at the data, it's amongst the lowest, usually. And if it's not the lowest, it's the lowest of that level of country. So out of all the powerhouse countries, America's usually one of the lowest countries out of those countries. I mean, and say what you want, but data doesn't lie. I'm just keeping it real. America also has a housing problem. And one of the ways to combat this would be to build more houses or more homes. And this makes sense. It won't fix the problem, but it will definitely help. But instead of doing that, you have NIMBYs. And now, if you don't know what NIMBYs are, NIMBYs are not in my backyard. Oh, wow. They're putting up the lights in the station. Oh, that's nice, man. Look at that. Oh, snap. Wonder what that guy's filming. Whoa, it is dark. So basically, these people will complain about the housing prices going up, property taxes are through the roof, but yet these same people will turn around and be like, yeah, but nah, we don't want to build these houses next to us. You got to build them somewhere else. Build more affordable houses some way over there. Military. Now, everybody, look, no matter what you say, the military is huge in the States. I mean, biggest and best military ever, right? I mean, they spend so much money on it, it should be. But when it comes to how they treat these people, especially after they finish serving, like vets, it's a completely different story. I mean, my granddad alone served in Vietnam. When he got back, look, let's just say it was not nice. It was not pretty for him. I mean, these people just get treated so badly. I mean, the president himself calls a lot of these people losers and just talks so badly and disrespectful about a lot of people who served. Also, these people also have a ton of problems when they get out as they get older, and it is almost impossible for these people to get the right help that they need. But hey, at least we got the biggest military. And also, matter of fact, a lot, and I mean a lot of these vets end up homeless. Look, I'm just super saying, man, it's keeping it real. Look, it's freaking freezing. This guy chilling on his boat. Just riding. Something else that you'll also notice too, especially from conservatives, is they will talk hard about hard work. They will go in on hard work and how you do hard work and you'll be successful. Like legit, don't make excuses, don't complain, work hard and you can make it. And matter of fact, if you didn't make it, it's because you didn't work hard. You don't need no government, you don't need assistance, you don't need none of that. It don't matter where you're coming from. There's people that you just gotta work hard. And although I see this on both sides, both like the Democratic side and conservative side, The conservatives push this a lot. Meanwhile, these same piece of crap people turn around and make excuses for everything. I mean, their middle name is excuse. Everybody and their grandmama have an excuse for something. I mean, man, these politicians make up excuses after excuses, but the moment an American is struggling, these same people will turn around and point the finger on them. They're not working hard. They're making excuses. They're lazy. They'll throw everything in the sun at these people, but they over there making excuses like crazy. I mean, these people have taken excuses and lying so far out of hand, and no one checks them on it. People who are at the same time telling you that you're not doing enough. Also, too, America is a powerhouse when it comes to innovating and technology, right? But they have one of the infrastructure is freaking falling apart. And it's not just certain states. It's like pretty much all the states. Like all the states have some kind of infrastructure problem. A lot of these politicians will say things like, oh, we're here for the American people and Americans come first and all this other stuff. I'm American. But then turn right around and say it's them versus us, or we versus them, and basically divide the American people right down the middle. They will use this language of division, and yet, we're trying to take care of the American people. It blows my mind. Healthcare. I mean, the best healthcare is in America. But life expectancy of Americans is dropping while obesity is rising. And then this amazing healthcare, the best healthcare in the world, you have to pay an arm and a leg for that a lot of the average Americans cannot afford. Basically, you coming out a slave, basically. And that is why I am not surprised about the results, because America is a big contradiction of itself. It's like, yeah, but. It's always a but. And this is all of America. Like, that's what's crazy. I mean, think about, they call the Mid-East the Midwest. Like, what? Like, when it's in the East. Like, completely. I mean, even when it comes to this election, it's a big old, yeah, but. I mean, you have two people coming in for the exact same job, a high-level, high-status job, one of the most important jobs in the world, right? They both come in and you line up the resume. One candidate continuously disrespects its own American military, was found liable of abuse, lied about the last election being stolen, and also lied about this election being rigged, got the lowest presidential approval rating in history, convicted of 34 felonies, lost 2.9 million jobs, which was the worst any president has ever seen in their 4-year term, built the Secret Service over $1 million, which comes out of taxpayers' money, built these guys just to protect him on his properties, had national debt increase by 40% more than any other president. Also, a large amount of people that he's worked with or been around are either in jail or convicted. And then to top it all off, the icing on the cake, also started an insurrection. That's candidate one. Meanwhile, candidate two worked her way up, had no criminal record, was an attorney general, a DA, and also worked as a vice president. And now, honestly, we could go into more about both candidates. I mean, what their character and all that is. But right now, we're just talking about for a job. We're talking about jobs. We're lining resumes up. Which one do you think would get this job? I mean, let's be real, especially if you're conservative. Because remember, I lie somewhere in the middle. But which one do you think should get this job based off of just their resume? And that's what I mean. That's what's been America's like thing. It's always a yeah, but. Because even if the roles were reversed, she still wouldn't have got the job. I'm just keeping it real. Even if she was the one convicted, it would have made things 100 times worse. But for some reason, this dude, because he knows how to talk to camera, because he's always on camera, because he knows how to talk to certain people, he's the most likely candidate, even though everything he pushes for only helps people like him, people at the top. And that's a whole nother truth about the entire situation. The people that vote for this man, they're not gonna see any benefit. Just like same thing that happened last time. These people are not, he's not helping those people, he's helping these people. Even though the majority of people know this, they still vote for it. Like, yeah, but. And look, I cannot stress this enough, but just think about how crazy this is. Someone like this, who shouldn't even be allowed to be president, became president of the United States. Like, just think of how crazy it is. Like, do you know how many times I have been in this situation of applying for a promotion and not getting it, knowing that I was a better candidate? That's pretty much this. Like, I mean, it's day and night I was better than this person. That's how this is. Like, that's exactly how this is. And what makes it crazier is that no one can really attack, like, the things that she's done, but they can attack everything about her race, her femininity, everything. They can attack everything else, but not her resume, and not about the job that she can do. Versus him, you can attack the job that he's done as well as his character. And still, the same people, a lot of these conservatives who will tell you to your face, who will tell you all the time that you're not working hard enough, you don't deserve it, and make all the excuses for everybody else, make excuses for all the Americans that are not doing well. These are the same people that will sit behind someone with a resume like that. And this is where a lot of countries, just like the Netherlands, they have things in perspective. They understand that it's about the people, not about the 1% of people. And now the best thing we can do now is show support when we can and hold these people accountable as much as possible. I'll see you later, man. And that was the US election in a nutshell. Surprising? No. Disappointing? Definitely. And what makes it all even worse is that not only did he win by a lot, but no matter what Harris would have done, she would have still lost. That's the crazy part about it. I mean, even if you look into her policies are actually really good. When you line both of the resumes up, who was better for the job? But when you look at what happened, who had the better resume, and no matter what, who would have won? I'm just super saying, man. One was a fraud, almost tried to start a war, disrespects everybody. Meanwhile, you have this person who worked extremely hard, put in the work, put in the time, and no matter what she would have done, she would have still lost. And you know what? Instead of whining and complaining and blaming everybody else and calling it a fraud and calling it a fluke that she lost, she got up, disappointed, and she admitted defeat and said, "We need to support this man." Okay, I do have to say, my bad if this video felt a little negative. We will be presuming with the regular vlogs in the next video. I promise.